Following independent reading and one-on-one conferences, the teacher brings the students back together for an interactive book discussion. The teacher guides the group to discuss the meaning of the text first, referring back to the purpose set for reading in the book introduction. Then the teacher selects 1 or 2 teaching points to spotlight strategic behavior, such as rereading to think about what made sense, or putting your finger in to break the word into parts. These teaching points are based on the observations during one-on-one conferences and are the behaviors monitored for change over time. Engaging all students in discussion is important and can be enhanced by establishing conversation norms. In the following SPS classroom examples, notice the menu of options teachers have when considering the after-reading activities. In this first example, Mrs. Reisenhuber prepares questions to discuss with her students. She also uses an accountability tool for students to organize and aid in comprehension. Finally, she provides time to make meaningful predictions for the upcoming portion of the book. Doing so activates thinking as readers are going to work independently within the text.
Let's go back into our book and find something that Dad says or does that shows how he's feeling about it.
Are you sure, son? He asked.
Are you sure, son? He asked. So Tom thinks that Prince is ready for his job, right? His job to help round up the cattle. But Dad says, "Are you sure, son?" How do you think Dad's feeling right then?
Are you really sure that he's gonna do this and not?
How could we describe that feeling?
Like scared that he's gonna get kicked again.
So maybe Dad's scared about Prince being kicked again? Could we add that to our chart? Or nervous? Could we add that to our chart?
Yeah.
So let's add what Dad said. You should be adding this as well. Are you sure? And if you want to add, are you sure he's ready? You can do that too to remind us what it's talking about. That's fine. Are you sure, son? And how is he feeling?
Nervous.
Maybe nervous, maybe scared. Yep. Could be. So far, has Dad's feelings changed much over the course of our story? If we look at the beginning, he was feeling angry and mad, right?
Yeah.
So far, it's been a lot of nervousness and scared. Has his feelings really changed much yet?
No.
Not really.
But it will.
Do you think it will? So boys, I know you haven't quite gotten to the finish yet. Do you think Dad's feelings are going to change at all? What makes you think they're going to change?
Because maybe he makes it, maybe he won't.
So you predict that maybe Prince is going to make it? Yeah? Well, we'll have to read the rest to find out. We're going to stop here today. I'm not actually going to have you read the rest of the story to yourself. I read to self. I want you to add at least one more thing that Dad says or does to your chart and the feelings that you think he's having. So at least one thing from the end of the story that Dad says or does and how he's feeling. And then on Friday, which I'll change that, Friday we will meet again and go over what you added in your notebook and talk about if Dad's feelings actually did change and if your prediction is correct. Okay, questions for me on what you're supposed to do? All right, you may take your book, you may take your notebook.